We are already nearing the quarter mark of the NHL season, and a lot of teams have been off to some surprising starts, whether it be for the good or for the bad. In this video, I want to go over all of the teams I think are having very surprisingly good starts and surprisingly bad starts. But like always, this is a very open discussion, and I want to know your thoughts in the comments below on who you think is having a really good start to this season and who you think is having a pretty poor start to this season, because sometimes the wins and losses just don't add up to the real picture. But before we get into the main video, if you love the NHL and love hockey in general, make sure you subscribe because this is the place you want to be for hockey talk and hockey news. Now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. The first team I want to talk about is the Minnesota Wild. They're off to an amazing start and are absolutely killing every team that they play. Myself included, I don't think anyone saw this coming from this team. In the past couple years, they've started to go back into their old form where they've been very mid, but this year, something about them, they just look amazing so far. The team is just playing amazing right now. With 11 games played, Kirill Kaprizov has 21 points, good for 7 goals and 14 assists, which is absolutely insane. On top of that, they're getting really good goaltending out of Phil Gustafsson, who even scored a goal so far this season, which is even more crazy. This team's been really fun to watch, and I even had the opportunity to watch them in person whenever Marc-Andre Fleury played his last game against the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh earlier this month. This team is really fun to watch, and they have a lot of good people, even if it doesn't look so on paper. As long as Kirill Kaprizov keeps playing out of his mind and Phil Gustafsson keeps playing solid in net, I think they're going to have a pretty good season, but I don't see them being this top of the league team forever. At the time I'm making this, they're currently 8-1-2, which is absolutely amazing, and while I think this is an amazing start for them, I do think that they will fall back a little bit as the season goes on, but I'm not sure to what degree. But now that we talked about a team having a good start, let's go to a team that's having an atrocious start to their season, and you can probably already guess it from the thumbnail, and that's the Nashville Predators. At the time I'm recording this, the Nashville Predators are currently 4-7-1 and haven't gotten off to the start that anyone would have predicted them to have. This offseason, they went off and did some big splashes where they got Brady Shea, Steven Stamkos, and Jonathan Marchessault, and so far, none of them have really been amazing fits to this point. Through 12 games so far, Steven Stamkos only has 2 goals and 3 assists, good for 5 points, and Jonathan Marchessault has 2 goals and 5 assists, good for 7 points so far in 12 games. I'm not blaming their lack of success on any of the new players that they got this offseason, because sometimes it takes a little bit just to get acclimated to a new team, and who knows, they might pick it up, and I think that they will. I really hope that the Predators can turn it around, because this team looks really fun on paper to watch, but so far it's just been absolutely abysmal for them. Whenever the Predators are playing good, Nashville is an absolutely electric atmosphere, and I really hope that they can find the success that everyone was projecting them to have this season. Now that we got through a bad start, let's go back to a good start and talk about the Winnipeg Jets. So far, the Winnipeg Jets are 11-1-0, which is absolutely insane. Through 12 games, they only have 1 loss so far, and currently have Kyle Connor scorching the league in goals with 9, and then they also have Josh Morrissey leading the team with assists with 13. This team is absolutely buzzing right now, and it looks like they might be a hard out whenever it comes to the playoffs. Connor Hellebuyck is playing out of his mind right now, and this team will continue to have success as long as the wheels don't fall off of him. I think this is another very surprising one, because this offseason, they didn't do anything too splashy that would have thought, hey, this team's going to be amazing this year. Heck, they even lost their coach that got them to a playoff berth last year. But I think it's finally time to say that those bad vibes in the locker room are finally gone from the Winnipeg Jets, and they seem like they have a real leadership group that's willing to help the younger guys step up and find their role in the NHL. Their games have been really fun to watch so far, and I really hope that they're able to continue to find success because they need help filling their arena, and I don't want Winnipeg to even come back into the conversation of being relocated. It's an amazing fan base, even if it's not the biggest space for a hockey team, but I do think that they have an amazing fan base and they deserve to keep their NHL team long term. So go ahead and fill up that arena. The next team I want to talk about is the Colorado Avalanche, and while they might not be very good right now and their record is pretty bad, I don't think it's all their fault, and it's been because of a horrible case of the injury bug. I don't know if you've paid any attention to the Colorado Avalanche so far, but so far they're 5-7-0, but if you go ahead and look at their team, it's not what it should be on paper whatsoever. Their top 9 is absolutely decimated, and they have players playing all over the lineup that shouldn't even be in the NHL. Ivan, legendary name by the way, started on their 4th line this season, and now he's playing on their 2nd line, and they just had their 7th round pick from this year's draft make their NHL debut because they physically don't have anyone else to fill the current roster. I think this is going to be one of those teams that has a very big bounce back in the second half of the season, but right now, until they get their forwards back, it is looking absolutely bleak in Denver right now. Their big stars are still playing like stars, and that gives them a chance to win on any single night that they're playing. So I do think that they'll be fine, and they'll be able to ride out this storm till players get back, but for right now, it's looking pretty shady out there. These are just the teams that I wanted to talk about today, though. If you want me to talk about specific players having either really good starts or horrible starts to their season, let me know. I think that would be a really fun video to do, so if you want to see it, let me know in the comments. As I said earlier, please consider subscribing because I'm going to start making long-form content more consistently now, so if you want to enjoy that with me, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.